오지니까.
How's it going, everyone? We're down here live at the Nexon Arena. My name is Valdez. With me is Wolf. We're about to get started for the losers brackets, the second one for the SSL.
Yeah, we've got 4 best-of-3s coming at you guys tonight. The losers are out of the tournament entirely. Many of these players have already lost in the GSL, and some of them are not playing in Pro League very often or at all. So this is a really important moment for all these players, because if you're out here, you're not in the GSL, you're not being fielded in Pro League, you're waiting a long, like pretty, actually quite
really long. Add a couple more longs in there. I think we'll get there soon.
Yeah,
you know?
An extended period of time before we have Season 2 for either this tournament or the GSL in Korea. With Koreans being locked out of international tournaments, this is really important.
And consider the fact that we have huge names tonight, like aLive, who's doing really well. ByuL is in here, Classic.
Yeah.
ByuN as well. I believe
ByuN,
is here tonight.
Hurricane.
He's doing really well for Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, Soki will be playing tonight as well. So there's a lot of really good players coming at you guys. So if you guys don't know how this tournament has been working, it has been double elimination. It wasn't initially like that, but you know, there were outcries on the internet.
Yeah.
The moderator of the Starcraft section on NVen threatened to kill the president of KESPA. So we decided to actually change the format to actually winners bracket and losers bracket. So these guys all basically in the old format would have been out of the tournament, but they've got a second chance.
Yeah, well, their second chance isn't, they don't get much of a second chance here tonight, Wolf, because it is only a best-of-3. And really, anything could happen in a best-of-3. I mean, it's still relatively new in Legacy of the Void. This is a look at our winners bracket so far. We can actually translate some of these names. I think that's Ragnarok
versus Solar, and then Dark versus Stats in the top 4.
So we got 3 Zergs, 1 Protoss in the top 4 so far.
And down here in losers, it's actually all the matches today, the round of 8. aLive versus ByuL, Hurricane versus ByuN, Sue versus Patience, Sulky versus Classic. Wow, I did it.
Yeah. I love the fact, by the way, that losers round number 3 is going to be a best-of-5, so it's not going to be as stressful or as crazy to try to get out of this loser bracket. They'll have a bit more of a chance.
It'd be really funny if the first loser bracket was best-of-5, and like the further you got into loser bracket, just got less, and like the finals.
Best-of-1.
Yeah, the finals of loser bracket's like best-of-1. You made it this far, but if you screw up one time, you're out of the tournament.
That would be a really bad format. We might have to change it midway through.
That might,
as has happened before.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not like that's something that's never happened before, but it does happen very rarely here in Korea. We have some events out at the studio. They're not that important if you're a foreigner, unless you can like read Korean and you like going on the Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, I think if you came down here, you still could get a pin, at least. I think that's something that you could actually get. So come down. We talk about this all the time. It's free to come down. We'd love to have you down here. You can talk to us. You can talk to the Korean casters, the players, get pictures, and get pins. You should do it at some point in your life.
Yeah. If you get a pin, you're definitely gonna get an aLive thumbs up, just like this picture here. Now, as you guys could see, aLive is actually on fire right now, winning his last 2 Pro League matches as well as 2-0ing Myungshik in losers. So he's actually doing much better than he was last year and in Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, and ByuL getting a little bit jealous of the sexy boy Ro, trying to challenge him there with that gesture. Did take a 3-0 loss against Solar, but then was able to defeat Super and Blaze in Pro League, but not quite the super dominant ByuL that we are used to.
Yeah, his only wins really in Legacy have been in ZVP. If you ask any Pro player in Korea about that matchup, they're going to tell you something.
You're going to get a very honest answer about Zerg being really strong and how they want to, you know.
It might include some foul language, but
yeah, maybe.
In our map list, we actually start with Arena, something you pointed out to me earlier. So that's going to be a crazy starting match. We're not going to get to our bigger map until we get to Ruins of Ceres, as we have Orbital as our second map.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to jump into our interview videos now, so let's take a look at that.
네, 안녕하세요. 한희석 선수.
안녕하세요.
네, 오늘 컨디션 어때요?
오늘 좀 피곤해가지고 그 컨디션이 좋진 않네요.
한지원 선수랑 친하다고 들었는데 예전 인터뷰에서 높은 곳에서 만났으면 좋겠다고 했잖아요.
네.
근데 패자조 2라운드에서 만나게 됐어요.
네.
어떻게 됩니까?
좀 안타깝긴 한데 그냥 누가 이기든 이기면은 그냥 그 선수는 결승 갔으면 좋겠어요.
GSL에서 한지원 선수를 이기고 올라갔는데 이번에도 자신 있어요?
네, 맵이 괜찮은 것 같아서 아무래도 결승은 제가 갈지 않을까 생각하고 있습니다.
혹시 경기 앞두고 한지원 선수랑 연락하나요?
단체 카톡방도 있고 해가지고 거의 매일매일 연락하는 사이예요. 그래서 뭐 누가 이기든 지든 별로 그렇게 기분 나쁘거나 그런 건 없는 것 같아요.
그러면 절친한 친구인 한지원 선수한테 한 가지.
우선 서로 프로리그 있어서 그렇게 준비는 많이 못한 것 같은데 그냥 누가 이기든 서로 응원해서 재밌는 경기 했으면 좋겠다. 지원아.
네, 수고하셨습니다.
고맙습니다.
안녕하세요, 한지원 선수.
안녕하세요.
네, 연습 많이 하셨어요?
네, 연습은 적당히 했고요. 네, 괜찮아요.
저번 시즌에 준우승했는데 패자조로 떨어졌어요.
네,
자존심 상하십니까?
좀 상하긴 하는데 제가 저번 시즌만큼 욕심이 크게 없어가지고 그냥 그러려니 하고.
GSL에서 한희석 선수를 만나서 탈락했는데
네.
오늘도 상대도 한희석 선수예요.
네,
복수전 가능할까요?
네, 그때는 좀 컨디션도 안 좋고 좀 게임에 대해서 잘 몰랐기 때문에 졌던 거고 이번에는 제가 이길 수 있을 것 같아요.
두 선수가 실제로 친하다고 하거든요.
네.
경기 앞두고 서로 연락하셨어요.
아니요, 딱히 연락은 안 했고 그냥 평소 하던 대로 했어요.
그러면 절친한 친구인 한희석 선수한테 한 말.
GSL 코드에서 올라가 있으니까 오늘은 내가 이길게.
네, 감사합니다.
네. 감사합니다.
So there you have it, guys. I know that was all in Korean. We can give a little bit of a rundown there. aLive seemed pretty confident, even though he was like, oh, my condition isn't that good, but I should be able to win today, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make it to the finals.
Yeah, he said like right before that it'd be good if whoever won today made it to the finals, but it wasn't even clear if he means the losers finals or the actual finals, but yeah, he's not incredibly confident, whereas ByuL just kind of talked about his failures in past seasons.
Yeah, said that he lost to aLive apparently in the GSL. They were talking about that, and he was like, at that time, I didn't really know how the game was, supposed to be played. I didn't understand the meta yet, but now I feel pretty confident. And he said to aLive directly that he's going to win this time and move on to the next round.
Yeah, and we'll see who ends up winning now. Wow, reeling it in.
And then.
He like reeled that camera right into himself. Like he had the double gun pose going on. It's like I was a bit taken aback by that. But we're gonna go into this.
The fans usually aren't that passionate, I suppose, about being on camera.
Yeah, usually they're either hiding or texting or playing Hearthstone,
trying to pretend they're not on camera,
or they're
trying to appear, invisible.
Or they're like doing some real nasty trash talking on NVen on their phone. They're I think this guy is absolute trash. He lost one set to a foreigner at BlizzCon 2 years ago, and I think that he is the worst player that has ever graced our
total
country.
Scrub. He shouldn't even be in this tournament. I don't even know why I came today. Stuff like that.
I like to make jokes about NVen these days because NVen is basically, for those of you guys who are big StarCraft fans, the Team Liquid of Korean esports. But it's used for not only StarCraft but like Heroes and League of Legends, and I'm sure like there's probably a Cartwriter page where people talk mad trash, but everyone is really mean on that website. There are like some really cool resources on the website as well, just like Team Liquid. But everyone who's posting in the forums is like pretty much has a black heart and evil.
Yeah, I can only imagine those Cartwriter forums. That game has been out for so long, and the pro gamers actually, unlike the rest of the other Korean pro gamers, are actually, from what we've seen on the videos, they like to trash talk a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They don't really care. I mean, their game is as dead as it possibly could be in the world. So they're just like, yeah, whatever, gonna kill this guy. It's gonna be easy, and I'm sure the fans on Inven love to get a piece of that action too.
Oh, no doubt. Well, our first map, as mentioned, is going to be Arena and aLive versus ByuL. Two former teammates going at it here together. I actually have to favor aLive. What about you?
Yeah, I'll go with aLive here too. I mean, ByuL just hasn't been on the same page as he used to be in the past couple of years. He's been so dominant, but just not showing the same expertise, especially in this matchup and against Zerg.
That's right. I'd have to give you that same sort of explanation is basically what I'd say as well. Looking only strong versus Protoss right now, but what Zerg isn't.
Well, guys, we're going to jump straight into game number 1 right now on Arena. Well, going into set number 1 here between aLive and ByuL. Again, this is going to be a best of 3. So the first player to get to 2 wins will move on. And up in the top left in the red, the Terran player, it's aLive.
Those Ray-Ban glasses. Fancy. And his opponent to the bottom left in blue. It is ByuL. Presenting today, CJ Entis, sponsor and team. Now, these two guys, if you want to hear some Wolf history, okay, like the historian
let's
coming
sit back and light up a cigar and just
yeah,
sit by the fireplace.
Yeah, puff
and let
that,
Wolf, tell us all a story here.
Puff that cigar, recline in your chair, turn up your gas fireplace. And remember that these two were actually ones together on the team Fnatic a long time ago when they were playing together in GSTL. And that was when aLive was probably at his peak for Wings of Liberty, and ByuL was beginning his career as a top-level pro gamer. Disappeared for a while, and then at the end of Heart of the Swarm was consistently getting second place in a lot of tournaments, going to multiple finals. In fact, losing both GSL and Star League finals back-to-back in the end of the year in both Season 3s of those tournaments. But
just as you were telling that story, I just imagined like a ring of kids sitting around you around a fireplace being like, really? Oh man, I didn't know. What? Wait, hold on a second. Enough with the jokes, because aLive is putting on a show for us tonight. We got 5 racks.
5 racks Marine too. It's not going to be 5 racks Reaper. This will almost certainly result in a multiple SCV pull when the push occurs. This is a build that we used to see sometimes in Wings of Liberty. And with the new economy and how fast it grows, like the growth of economy for production for Tier 1 units in this new expansion, means that you can do a really strong push like this. And I've actually had people do this to me, even against like me as Protoss and bunker rush me and stuff like that. If you don't see the bunker or the barracks, it's hard to know something like this is coming.
Yeah, and aLive was very meticulous about pushing away all the other overlords to make sure that ByuL would have no chance to see this. And I was going to say it, we didn't quite get to it, but the rush distance on this map, at going down the really thin path in the middle, is so short compared to some of the other maps we do have in the pool right now. So very good build to start off the best at 3. I feel you're going to put on a ton of aggression, and it's perfect for the map.
And not only is this aggression quite powerful because of the rush distance, but also that choke point is quite narrow, so if you end up having to retreat back into it, you can actually prevent the Zerglies from surrounding your Marines. ByuL is rushing out a lair. We haven't talked too much about what he's doing. He also has fast link speed, but with this league cleaned up, I think we're going to see aLive move out very shortly. He has 17 Marines on the map. No Baneling Nest is the key here. He just made 7 drones. He's going straight into Spire.
Oh, man.
He might just be direct countered here.
Yeah, this is about as greedy as you can get. Just 2 base lair. You're going to make a blind spore here. Just get out all your gases and try to control the skies and the map with your mutas, but that's not going to do much against this many Marines, Wolf.
Here it comes, and you know, people type in chat bit by bit prime when they see cheeses coming, but this is actually the original bit by bit prime type of strategy right here, right now.
What is going on, man?
This is literally what a guy made his career
Where am I,
off
Wolf?
of. Well, we're back in 2010, Valdez.
What year am I living in, Wolf? What is this?
Here comes the attack. We've got SCV's tanking at the front. Very few Zerglings out on the map. He's making 3 spines in the main base.
He's trying to get those spines down, but just look at how many Marines there are, and all the SCVs tanking the damage there. All of the Lings have gone down, and these Queens are going to follow suit.
I think this is just game over. GG. Spines were at the natural even. He wasn't even going to try to hide those in the main. What a shreckening.
LOL.
aLive by aLive Prime. No, this is a strategy that worked in Wings of Liberty because no one was scouting.
Oh, man.
Overlords were slower back then. I remember one of my favorite bit by bit primes versus bit by bit prime games back in, I think, early 2011 was bit by bit versus Moon on Jungle Basin.
I think I remember the game you're talking about, actually.
Moon sets a Baneling trap and misses the detonation.
Yeah,
If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should Google it because I'm sure you'll find it. It's a really funny GIF. But yeah, aLive is pulling out some old strategy here. That was a really strategic move.
I mean, I guess he was just saying it's so easy to deny scouting on this map unless he's going to sacrifice an Overlord, which it didn't seem like ByuL had any intention of doing. He prepared a really fantastic build to get it started here and win game 1 really fast. You could even see the coach going in to talk to ByuL and just be like, okay, you know, that was really crazy, but listen, it was a cheese. You got this. You're not out of it yet, but you do have to play from behind here.